Good evening, Warband, and welcome to the Red Pill Cult Meeting, episode 28. Sacrifice the goat, get your red robes. And quite frankly, for today's topic, crack a beer. We're not roasting the rat today, guys. This is the second most significant political event of the past week. I can't say it's number one because Trump dodged a bullet and basically made the most iconic photo of the fucking decade. So, second most important political event, but honestly the one that hit me the hardest. Voice audio is kind of low. I can bump it up a bit. All right, well, hopefully that works. Okay, but first of all, you guys are active in chat. So yeah, we had Sotnar and Kite and Chaz popping in earlier. Now we got Sergeant Grinch, just some random guy. B. Watkins, Shinobi Wan, welcome. Yumjoy Style, K Plan 1142, AC. Did I get y'all? Jerry K. Yeah, nice. Okay, welcome everybody. So, for those of you that were attending Chronic's stream last night, Joker was on, and I got into a very interesting discussion with him. And he actually really got me thinking, you know what? I don't need to have quite as much saved as I do to pop out to Southeast Asia and scope things out a bit and maybe use it as a emergency fallback. Like, hey, need to get out of the country and dodge the shit I owe the government. You know, okay, you know, pop off to Thailand, if not straight up the Philippines. Well, guys, I've got bad news. So, let's rip the Band-Aid off here. Pull it up. For those of you who've known me for a while, I've said that I can't claim myself as MGTOW because I've held out the hope that a family with a wife and kids was a possibility. And that was because the Philippines and their legal system. Because the only two countries where divorce was illegal was Vatican City and the Philippines. Was. Now, this is a little bit older, unfortunately. So, May 22nd, 2 months ago, the divorce bill was approved by the House of Representatives on the third and final reading on Wednesday. During the plenary session on Wednesday, the last day for the 19th Congress's second regular session, House Bill number 9349, or the Absolute Divorce Act, was approved, with 126 lawmakers voting in the affirmative, 109 in the negative, and 20 absentations. B. Watkins, I'm taking what Joker said with a grain of salt, but I've also been to Southeast Asia and, within the past decade, and that did sound very plausible. But this... as of 2 months ago, divorce is legal in the Philippines. Philippines, no, that's the thing, Jerry Kate. The Philippines was the last place. Like Vatican City is not the kind, like, to the best of my knowledge, you can't like immigrate to Vatican City to like start a life with a family there. I've been to Vatican City. Very nice spot. But it's not really a thriving economy that's self-sufficient. It's kind of like a little enclave inside Italy. Last bastion is destroyed, yeah. And apparently it was very much due to like the influence of the Roman Catholic Church that it even held out this long, but yeah. And that margin too. 20 absentations. There was a difference of 17 votes. 17 votes. And according to Genosu, like, there was just very, very slim political margins put this through. Because what was also on the table was just cheaper annulments. And that's fine. That's the thing. Like, I really feel the need to draw the distinction between an annulment and a divorce. And an annulment would break it off as though it never happened. It's like, okay, resetting you both back to zero. Go do your own thing. You were never married. But a divorce? No, now the government is in bed with you. Now the government is redistributing your assets afterwards. Asian waifu for you? No, that's exactly it, Young Joy. No Asian waifu, no non-Asian waifu willing to move to the Philippines, nothing. Like now, like the waifus are going to be 2D or CGI. This, I'll be honest, guys, this hurt. This hurt. So I went out and I bought my first thing of booze in over a month. Like I got a fucking 2-4 ale, and I'm just gonna be working through that shit. Now here's the thing. Like I just want to go through this. Like I'm pretty sure that most of y'all are on board with me. I don't really have the broadest appeal to get a whole, whole bunch of normies in here. But let's actually go through this because I'm coping and seething here, guys. I am coping, seething, balding, and mourning. Hence the title. So this is gonna be me just chatting with you, fucking ranting about this crap, and just trying to fucking cope. And this is the frustrating thing, is because if we try to explain it to somebody, and you point it, and you were to read this to them, they'd probably think it's benign and innocuous. So let's read through just the cliff notes here. Under the Absolute Divorce Act, the following are considered grounds for absolute divorce. So it's not no-fault divorce yet. So, physical violence or grossly abusive conduct directed against the petitioner, a common child, or a child of the petitioner. The problem is, I don't think anyone would disagree that that is grounds to end a relationship. Sure. Physical violence or moral pressure to compel the petitioner to change religious or political affiliation. That one's a bit vague, but not having a good idea of the political situation. That's the thing. Is like if you disagree with your politics before the marriage starts, I mean, like you're kind of already fucking yourself, but moral pressure, that's vague. That is so vague. Attempt of respondent to corrupt or induce the petitioner, a common child or a child of the petitioner, to engage in prostitution or connivance in such corruption or inducement. I mean, on the surface, yeah, 100% can agree with that. pushing your partner, although this is going to be very much a male to female deal.
Imagine getting married today, and then lawmakers pass a bill the next day says your vows don't matter. Never get married, future laws can grape you. I was on the fence for surrogacy since entering high school. Now I am 100% surrogate is the
only way now. You know what? Yes. That's the thing. This is the final push. This is the final push that gets me to go, if I'm going to have kids, it's going to have to be via surrogacy. Like, there's now nowhere in the world. And I was hoping. Like, I was hoping because I'm like, okay, look, I just need 25 years. Just 25 years with the kids. Because that's enough to have 5 kids and see them all grown up to the age of 20 where they're adults and they're off on their own. I was hoping I had 2.5 more decades before this shit came down. Naive, perhaps, but, well, I had to have some kind of hope. Chaz, yeah, Chaz, if you wanna hop in on Discord, Chaz, I could definitely use a co-host for this, because just talking to myself is feeling kind of bleh. Hey, Chaz, welcome. You are live.
Good evening. Good evening. How's it going?
It fucking sucks, Chaz. God damn, it fucking sucks.
I know, man. Like, I just played a little bit of Smash Bros. Brawl with a buddy, right? He played Bowser, I was playing Meta Knight, and I'm like, God, this game sucks ass. It's unbalanced as hell. But since I was Meta Knight, right, like, I was having the fun. So
Yeah.
it's like, I know it sucks, but I still had my fun, right? So... But
yeah.
I assume you're talking about something else that sucks a bit harder.
Yeah. Jinosu, who I'm thankful for. Like, I'm very thankful that I have people who actually give enough of a shit about me that they'll run into this kind of news, think about me, and reach out to me, in this case on Gilded, to let me know the bad news.
Okay, so is it the link you sent me?
I posted in the Warband chat, but also I said, as of 2 months
ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
As of 2 months ago, divorce is now legal in the Philippines.
Like what kind of divorce? No fault or?
Not no fault yet. I'm actually going through the list of faults that are considered legal grounds for it. But divorce is divorce. It's not no fault yet, but it's gonna be. It's not gonna end here. You and I both know this is not the end. It's not gonna just be like, oh yeah, we enter into divorce and it just stops here. No. It's gonna be pushed. It's gonna get longer. Is it gonna happen in the next 5 years that it'll be pushed? The next 10 years, 15 years, 20 years? It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's going to expand because as soon as you have divorce, because we have these are the things that are considered the grounds for absolute divorce.
Like,
we have a whole list of things.
Yeah. So it's like I pulled up the article. It's like, yeah, going Mike Tyson on like whoever you're living with. Yeah, probably shouldn't live with that person, right? Should probably get out of there. Like. That's like if a woman wants to get divorced because her husband beats her black and blue every night. You know what?
This is the problem, Chaz.
But then like that can lead into. But it's like then like that's abuse, right? But then you can start adding to like what is abuse, and the list gets longer and longer to the point where just not talking to her might be abuse.
This is the real problem, Chaz. Well, there's two additional problems. Number one. There's the mechanism of annulment. Divorce is not the only way to exit a marriage. There is annulment, which undoes the marriage.
Gotcha.
Now, one of the main arguments was that, hey, annulment's expensive. And there was a competing law to make annulment cheaper. But due to some political victories, instead of going for cheaper annulment, they went for legalizing divorce. That's the thing. There was an exit plan. Women did not have to get stuck in abusive relationships. The annulment was an option to end that. But now there's divorce.
Gotcha.
And this was actually kind of funny, though, to me. Homosexuality of the respondent.
What?
That's grounds for divorce. If you find out that your partner's gay, you can then divorce.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, like, you'd think that you'd figure that shit out ahead of time, but
It takes some people a while. Like, you know, you marry someone, you think that they're, you know, smart, and then over the couple of years you realize they're a retard, right? It's like that, but you know, just replace retard with gay.
yeah. Now, here's another one, which again, on the surface, sounds good, but okay, marital infidelity or perversion or having a child with another person. Okay, what the fuck defines perversion on the side? Or having a child with another person other than one spouse during the marriage, except when upon the mutual agreement of the spouses, the child is born to them through in vitro fertilization or a similar procedure, or when the wife bears a child after being a victim of rape. It's like, that sounds fine, but here's the thing. Grounds for divorce? Okay. I have not seen, and there's nothing in here about how are the assets divided up. Because there's nothing in here saying that the at-fault person gets nothing. That's the thing that gets me about divorce, is it's the division of resources and the division of custody. Like, if this is saying, hey, you catch your wife cheating.
Sorry, go ahead.
That's the thing, is if it's saying, hey, if you catch your wife cheating on you, then you get to keep the house, you get full custody of the kids, and she's out on the streets. Okay. But it doesn't say that here. These are just what is grounds for divorce. There's no fucking guideline here on how resources and custody are to be divided after the fact.
Oh, sorry, you were waiting for me to respond. Sorry, I just
Sorry, I do try to give
no
pauses.
no. It was just one of those moments where I was like sitting there awkwardly. My bad. Okay, just like continue on for a sec.
So, like, attempt by the respondent against the life of the petitioner or common child. Yeah, abandonment of the petitioner by respondent without justifiable cause for more than 1 year. Okay. When the spouses are legally separated by judicial decree for more than 2 years, either spouse can petition proper family court. Family court. This creates family court.
There it is.
So that's the thing. So you have there's nothing in here that gives me reason to believe that a man cannot have a very good and valid reason to divorce his wife and still not come out the losing side. Like, whereas the woman can cheat on them. Like, there's nothing in here that makes me think the woman can't cheat on the man and collect cash and prizes. Like,
I get you. Yeah.
Thing like annulment's moving slowly. Like, that's the thing, guys. Like, the whole thing is like you're supposed to vet thoroughly. The problem is when you create an easy out, an easy, convenient out to a marriage, then entering into a marriage becomes trivial. This is why women will just fucking chase a guy for fucking money and shit. Whereas the guy usually has to get suckered in with emotions. Like, for him to cast aside all of his fucking rationale. Adultery is also illegal. That's the thing. Is like a bunch of this shit was illegal, but they created now family court. They created family court where there was no family court, which is going to be outside the bounds of regular law.
Like, this is in the Philippines, right?
This the
So,
Philippines.
like, and like, I assume up until this point that they didn't really have they had like family court?
No,
Or is
that's the
this
thing.
like,
There was annulment. And there was no family court to divvy up your fucking resources after the fact. The marriage was just undone. I'm like, it was pricey and it was primarily like done through the church. But that's the thing. Now it's family court. Now this isn't you, your wife, and the church. Now it's the government. So now you have the gun of the state divvying up your resources. Yeah, Bald Eagle, AR Rage. As of 2 months ago, the Philippines has divorce. Well, little under 2 months, like 7 weeks. 7 weeks ago, the Philippines now has divorce laws. Means there's literally nowhere in the world that you can safely start a family without the threat of the state. The court exists in the Philippines since 1997. Well, without divorce, like what the heck did family court do? No, I'm not
it
the
probably
most...
had like a way more limited reach, right?
That's the thing. Is like there wasn't the cash and prizes collection after a marriage ended. Child support. Yeah. I'm bummed out as fuck, Chaz. Like that's just about that sums
like
up.
Last night you were hyping, like you and Joker were hyping up the Philippines and shit.
That's the thing. Is like going to be like, you know,
$1,200.
put aside 1,200. Go to fucking Thailand, and there's going to be some woman there who'll put you up. And you know what? Having like with the experience I had in my time in Vietnam, I can believe that. I can 100% believe that a woman would fucking put you up for a while. I mean, heck, when I was just overnight in the Korean airport, like I had just a woman there trying to introduce me to her daughter.
Oh, damn.
That's the thing. Is like I got a number just by like without even fucking trying. Like I got a fucking like contact link. Now, I had a girlfriend at the time, so I didn't really follow up on it, but that's the thing. You go to Southeast Asia, I think that you'd have to really try to not like get in contact with a woman.
Yeah, this is a sad day for the passport bros,
Well, no, that's the
or
thing.
People are trying to start families.
That's the thing. It's like it's for the marriage minded. Again, like it's a very small subset of the population. Like there's only so many guys, because like there's some guys who would go, yeah, they're okay. I was like, most guys aren't even doing the passport bro thing. Like every guy that I know locally, not a huge sample size, but they're all either married to a local woman or they mess around with local women who aren't particularly impressive. So, low fucking standards. So, like, passport bros are already a small subset of the population. And then the kind that would actually consider packing up
staying
their
there
shit,
and
leaving
and having
the
a family that's even smaller.
That's the thing. It's like very small portion of the population. But quite frankly, the Philippines with this, they've killed their golden goose. Like this would have been fucking like you would have had fucking hardworking, honest working dudes like going to the Philippines, starting their lives, paying local taxes, supporting shit like these were guys like the Philippines is on the verge of war with China right now. There's like bullshit skirmishes going on all the time. An influx of men from the West going to have families who would then lay down their lives to fight for the country that gave them the ability to have families. They have pissed that away.
So it's only a matter of time before, they kind of get just as bad as the US legally wise.
Yes, it's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
By like, is it going to be 10 years, 20 years? Don't know, but it's going to happen. And here's the other thing. Okay, so you might look at this and be like, oh well, these are all fairly solid grounds. Okay, but what's the burden of proof? We know women are not above taking a hammer to themselves and then filing a spousal abuse report.
Like, not every, but
Enough.
More than zero.
And that's the thing, because prior to this, like 8 weeks ago, the odds of getting a divorce in the Philippines were 0%. 7 weeks ago, the odds of getting a divorce in the Philippines are not 0%. Do you know what a percentage increase is it when you go from 0 to not 0?
Like more, like 100, 200, 300, etc. percent increase.
Infinite percent. You are now infinitely more likely to get divorced in the Philippines than you were 2 months ago.
Infinity. That's a Jujutsu Kaisen reference. That's a domain expansion.
Like
domain expansion. Divorce. Domain expansion. Family court. I don't know.
That's the thing, like,
I haven't read the series yet.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like...
honestly, Jujutsu Kaisen has a neat little thing where if you explain how your power works, it powers up. Which
see, my power works with the fact that it's called family court. You're fucked no matter what you say or do. Here's the jury of your peers that automatically assume you're in the wrong. Boom.
B. Watkins, I guess the thing is like, you'd think that they'd prefer that, but given the amount of favorability that the culture has towards white people, like, that's the thing. There's a difference between a half-breed that's half black and a half-breed that's half white. They absolutely want white blood down there. Like, their women go fucking insane for it. And apparently, proficiency in English gets you a long way. Like, I've been to Southeast Asia. I've seen this shit firsthand. Like, before the whole COVID thing, women in Vietnam would wear masks over their face, not because they were sick, but to keep their faces from getting tanned.
That's weird.
Well, no, that's the thing. Is like keep in mind, like it's a fairly recent phenomenon in the West for the idea of having a tan to be seen as a sign of wealth and status. Because it used to be that if you were poor, you worked out in the fields, and thus you got a tan. Whereas nowadays, like if you're broke, you work in an office all day, you look fucking pale. Whereas if you're like wealthy, then you get to go out and like go on tropical vacations and shit where you get a tan that way. But Southeast Asia, like, manual labor is still seen as lower on the rung, so pale skin, valuable. And then, well, there is very much a fetish for white people out there in Southeast Asia. It's just a thing. For no reason. How's it going? Just found out the Philippines passed divorce. It's going like shit.
A rough night.
Yeah, I've literally been driving all over the fucking province all day. Get back thinking I'll finally get something remotely productive done. Find this out and I'm like, fuck. I don't remember the last time I was this emotionally devastated.
Emotional damage.
Hardcore emotional damage.
Sorry.
Like, that's the thing. It's not even the fucking meme. It's like, yes, 100% legit. Emotional damage.
Here, Graham, I'm gonna send you an image. This is like how you feel in your soul right now. Just like, this is you right now. You don't know it, but this is you.
Adachi?
Adachi.
I gotta finish Persona 4. I've played about halfway through it. I know some of the plot points. Never actually finished it. I've had it on the PSP.
You finish it, man.
I played it on the PS Vita for ages, but then it would be like, the curse of the imperfect run. Like, that was before
yes.
That's the thing. It was like before. Like, nowadays, I'm a lot more accepting of the imperfect run as an expression of self. But before, I'm trying to be fucking optimizing.
Yeah, I risked up the wrong bitch, but you know what? Live and learn. It's an expression of self.
Yeah, this thing. Like, pale skin is, beloved in Southeast Asia. Again, when I was in Vietnam, Chaz, have you ever had a fucking circle of women around you cheering you on?
Oh, bro, all the time. Every time I go to my fighting game, local bitches just they go to it just to cheer me on every night. They see my Akuma, they see my Kin. If Dragon Ball's in the bracket, they see my Tien, and they get wet instantly. The fuck do you think, Gray? I've never left the country. I very rarely ever leave the state, let alone the city I'm in.
That's
right?
the thing. Me, I'm fucking dense as hell most of the time. And I'm pretty sure if I hadn't been in Vietnam with my girlfriend,
I should probably start calling myself dense as well instead of tubby or fat. I'm dense, mentally and physically.
Well, given the fucking muscle mass you got, that's actually probably true.
I'm dense as hell, bro. I have been slacking at the gym hardcore. It's fucking sucks, man.
Well, this is the other thing, is I was thinking, this is gonna be my fucking motivation to really go hard on the fucking gym equipment, because that's gonna be just extra bonus points to my attractiveness overseas. And now it's well, fuck that. I mean, yes, it's still good to get for myself, but fuck.
But you have to be very motivated to stick with trying to get a six-pack, right? And when a little bit of that motivation dies, now you just gotta settle for a 4. Right, I got my 2-pack, but I don't know, 6-pack.
The thing is, Chaz, fucking 4 in Southeast Asia is still a 6 in the West.
Women are pack. All right, come on, you get me.
Yeah, no, it's like a Minnesota 10 is like a fucking Los Angeles 6. So. Passport wars blabbering help this. I mean, maybe. Thing is, I don't really know if a lot of guys were going to the Philippines for the sex tourism. And admittedly, that's still an option, but now I gotta look at it okay, I gotta fucking, if I'm not gonna go over there for the fucking marriage, then I gotta be alright, surrogacy, if I want a kid, I gotta go for fucking surrogacy. And surrogacy's fucking expensive. I could get
very few people could probably actually afford a surrogacy without having to go into massive amounts of debt or selling a kidney or some shit.
Well, that's the thing. I'm pretty sure that I could get 6 trips to the Philippines. including covering all my time off of work, the round trip flight, and all living accommodations and expenses. I get 6 of those for one kid. So the amount of money it's going to take to go the fucking surrogate route. Like, I know, and Chronic's pointed this out, like, yes, the divorce is fucking expensive, but it's like renting versus purchasing. Just because you can afford to pay $100,000 in rent over the course of several years.
Hey Gray, there's one hope. In Indonesia divorce is legal unfortunately, but assets prior to marriage is separated by law, so they can't come after those assets.
So
Plus,
is there
your
more
wife
to
would be
this
less
art- oh,
inclined
no.
to divorce
this
since
article's
the
short as
financial
hell.
incentive isn't there.
Sorry, chat. Sorry, Chaz. There was a super chat there.
No, you're fine. I was like thinking, oh, is there more to this article? And then it's like, oh, nope, it just ends there.
No. There's another one though.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah, like this was the original one. That was more so the details of it. But
Man, sorry if I'm a bit out of it tonight. Not really talking all that much. I'm just like, ugh.
that's fine. All right, 78.8% Catholics. That's cool. Fortunately, let's see. So this is like May 23rd. Well, it's saying House passage does not guarantee the passage of the bill. Well, and like that's the thing. Like the Philippines is still not a terrible option, but it's just infinitely more chances of divorce. What about getting a surrogate in another country? Well, let's take a look.
I don't know. Anytime you go like blank in another country, the laws get a bit more fucky. Like someone was like, "Oh, why don't you like buy land in another country?" And it's like land ownership laws probably aren't exactly the same as they are in America. They're either far more lenient to the point of like it's probably sketchy as hell, or no one owns any land whatsoever, right? Like I don't know how it is for Thailand or the Philippines, right?
I'm just looking at that. Okay, so cost of surrogacy in Thailand, 60 grand.
It's still, yeah, that's a pretty penny.
$80,000 in Canada. Oh. So this bill passed the House. Did it pass the Senate? No, that's the thing, because like I know I saw this and I actually didn't look any further into it. I was too busy fucking malding.
He's coping
Coping and seething.
seething.
That's like that song's been playing in my fucking head. Okay. Well, let's see.
Trying to cope, like, oh, maybe this won't get so bad. Maybe it won't get so
well,
bad.
no, that's the thing. It's like, no. Now I'm in the bargaining stage because, like, wait, did it not pass
Denial,
the Senate?
anger, bargaining, depression.
It's like, wait, it passed the House. Did it pass the Senate? Did it pass the Senate?
In the House of Representatives.
Like the House. Okay, House defers approval to the Senate. Okay, May 28th.
Maybe you should just do what Tien would do and go monk mode. Bro,
Well,
actually, I'm making an AI version of monk mode with Tien, and it's actually like coming out pretty all right. Going monk mode.
Well, that's the thing. Is like I've basically been doing that. So
It's one of those things where you're basically your your default monk mode until you start like a family or something,
yeah.
right? Like,
Well, that's
yeah,
well, that's
yeah.
the thing. Because like I'm not going out and not pursuing the relationships because they're a massive use of fucking time and money and effort. And I got so much shit going on. I do not have time for that. Like
I
like
get you.
like fucking women are so low on my priority list. They don't even make the top 10. I've just got a crap ton of other shit that I've been like, oh crap, I got to get to this, but I've got other shit I'm doing. Like the idea of like pursuing even a fucking like remote anything remotely resembling a relationship with a woman is so far down the list. Like I'll speak with fucking family members and like the fucking checkout ladies at the grocery store. That's about it. Like basically the only women that see me outside of family are in retail. Well, okay, so
Sorry, I know I'm not being like the best co-host tonight.
it's fine. I'm flicking through this stuff. So what I'm seeing, and I wish that because like now it's worse because now I have hope again. Like this hurts even more. Sessions start on this bill in the Philippine Senate in 6 days.
So 6 days from now,
Six.
what's happening with this bill? Like,
This
they're
means that
going
the
to talk about
transmittal
it?
of the Senate will not wait for the plenary action of the House when the sessions start, as previously announced. Apparently, 51% of Filipinos are against the legalization of divorce. So, okay, now I can't
Wait,
even
what
fucking.
percent?
51%.
Oh,
The
well,
majority.
okay, so well, the problem with that is that's just the people that answered, right? Like a poll or whatever,
Okay,
right?
41%
Oh,
respondents approved the legalization, 9% undecided.
okay.
Like, at the very least, that's a fucking, like, temperature
It's
check.
still about half of the people saying no. So it could go either way, right?
Yeah.
You really are coping with that.
I'm
Like
coping.
it's
I'm coping so hard.
it's
I am
51%.
I'm coping so hard.
51's the majority.
This is not fucking clickbait, man. I am coping, seething, and mauling right fucking now. I do not give a shit about. I was like, I'm not here to be like, oh no, I'm totally unaffected. Oh, I could go with this. It's like, no. I actually do give a shit. I was actually severely invested in this, and the idea that there's even a sliver of chance that the fucking Senate might throw this bill out. Like, yes, I will grasp at the fucking straws. Especially since, again, the price of a fucking surrogate is 80,000 fucking dollars. That's a lot of fucking money. Like, keep in mind, like, Chronic, who's probably like got the best career path of anyone in the warband. He's headed for 6 figures, which means that if he devoted all of his money for a year, didn't spend a fucking cent on anything else, he'd still only be able to afford one surrogate kid in Canada per year.
Ah, man. Imagine if you could just marry a woman you could trust and then she wouldn't leave, right?
Well, that's the thing. That's why, like, even with all this shit, like, the amount of vetting that I'm planning on doing, like, I think I'm not meeting the woman first. I'm meeting the father first.
Damn, it's hardcore.
That's the thing. Like, I'm going old school hardcore, and I'm approaching the father before I approach the woman. Like right away, you aren't going to get a woman who's got like that's the thing. Like you approach the dad first. I think that that's the smartest thing you can do because A, you're not going to get a woman who doesn't have a dad,
Yeah, exactly. Like you know that there's a dad that's in her life.
and you're also going to get like by getting to know the father first, you're going to get a good idea for the kind of man that raised the daughter. Then you combine the whole debt-free virgin, no tattoos credentials on top of that, and then you actually spend at least 2 years getting to know her, if not 3, and you make that shit very fucking clear to all parties involved right off the bat. I don't know how much more thoroughly you could vet somebody. AC, like, okay, like, the sperm donor, that's an option until you realize that you are potentially liable for child support and alimony. That's why there's a sperm shortage nowadays. It's because men who donated sperm started getting tracked down for alimony and child support for the kids that were the result of their donated sperm. So, like, yeah, it's one way to pass on the DNA, but there's a non-zero chance that you're going to be hit with the bills later. So, yeah. So, that's the thing. It's like, so, I mean, hey, it's at the very least, now I'm aware of this, and I can keep an eye on this. Like, I don't need to fucking toss my plans in the bin, because apparently a bill like this has died in the Senate before. Just because it passes the House doesn't mean that it's going to pass the Senate.
But if it does,
Well, that's the thing. If it does, then like my original plans still change. Like if I can save for surrogacy, great. Otherwise, I look on fucking off to the far north and just focus on surviving the collapse. Honestly, I'm wondering if there's anywhere in the world that could dodge the collapse. Because like Joker's thing to Thailand, that wasn't so much about getting the family, because Thailand does have divorce laws, but more so about getting out of the West before shit hits the fan.
really was only a matter of time
Like, that's
for
the thing. Is
something
like
like this happened.
that's the thing. Like they do have like women can vote. That's the I didn't hold out hope that it would never be a thing. Just I
That
just
will have
needed it.
taken a couple more years.
That's the thing. I just needed it to hold out so that I could reasonably be
Well,
sure.
you could always
be
just
sure
move over there ASAP, join government, and you could be the one to stop it from going through. How about that?
as a non-citizen,
You gotta believe in yourself, man. Not like you're an American. You move to the Philippines, you take shit over like an American would. People love that. They would love you. Oh wait, no, you're Canadian. Oops, never mind.
Okay, Chaz, over there, you have no idea.
Canadian, American, potato.
You have no idea how much more Canadians are loved internationally than Americans.
It's just maple
Like
syrup,
because guess what? Do you know what Canadians have overseas? Like this was the thing I got in Vietnam. Like I was legit told, I thought that you were real polite for an American. I was like, fuck, you're Canadian. That's the thing. We're fucking polite. Canadians are fucking beloved overseas. Americans carry fucking Canadian pins and post them on their fucking luggage so that they get treated better internationally.
It's really funny. I was not expecting that little bit of Canadian trivia tonight.
Press F to collect ghost salt. Yes. Yes, Carl. 100,000% fucking salty as fuck right now. If you want in on the Discord call, let me know. No, because, again, coping, seething, malding, 1,000% fucking salty as shit.
If
And
Chronic
now,
does want to hop on, I think I'll hop off for tonight. I'm gonna try to like edit some more of my video.
well, thanks for hopping on. Well, thanks for hopping on, Chaz. And
Yeah.
I am working on the Photoshop thing.
I know. I hope it didn't come off as too much of a
No.
mess,
It's just I've been. No, it's just honestly.
I know, like you have a lot more life shit going on than I do.
No, it's the Terraria. It's honestly Terraria hardcore. I've been.
Oh, you motherfucker! I was assuming that like you're working 12-hour shifts and you like come home way too tired to do anything else but sleep. Here you are, Terraria hardcore. But okay, you know what? I get it though. I get it. Like for a while, I was obsessed with my like Elden Ring hitbox challenge, right? When I could have been doing other shit. Trust me, man. I get it.
Yeah, no, and like I usually like my good runs. I get about fucking 15, 20 hours into the run, and then I fucking die to something stupid. So
All good, man. Well, hey, I'll talk to you later. All right.
all right, thanks for coming, in, Jess. Peace. A Morse code. Well, the divorce bill passed the House, but this is me fucking coping right here. It hasn't passed the Senate. It might be up for discussion next week. Like, let's actually look into this a little bit more. So, transmittal to the Senate will not wait for the plenary action of the House when the session started on June 22nd, 20 as previously announced. Will not be their priority. We will begin with priority bills. The divorce bill, even if there is one or not, will not help solve hunger and poverty. Okay, you know what? Like that. When was the last time you heard a fucking politician speak like that? Like, hey, fucking divorce is not our priority. We're focused more on the fucking economic and health of our fucking people. Like, fuck, man. I can't think of the last time I heard a fucking Canadian politician talk like that. Yeah, and then you got 51% of the population against it, according to this survey. Yeah, new bill. It was like 7 weeks ago. 7 weeks ago, but it's apparently not all the way through. Everything I can find on it just says, oh yeah, the House approved it. But it's not through the Senate. And admittedly, I'm like Canadian. We've got like Parliament shit, so like our shit has to go through the fucking House of Commons, then the Prime Minister, then the Governor General. But this looks like it's going on a more American system where it's the House and then the Senate and then the President's got to sign off on it. So I can hold out the slimmest of fucking hope. The slimmest of fucking hope that this shit will die in the Senate. Super chat donation? Yeah, I'll post the link to that actually. Yeah, if you do want to like post. Oh, 1 second. What the? Hold on. There we go. Didn't grab the link. Yeah, if you want to. Yeah, no, because I am coping so fucking hard. Yeah, if you want to post and have your comment read out by text to speech, link is currently pinned. If you want to donate, please donate to L. Yes, I'm collecting L's right now. So please donate to L. Absolute divorce is not an election issue in the Philippines. I'm sure it's all personality politics. So that's good. I mean, if most of the population does not consider this to be a key issue, like, that's better than this being the fucking deciding factor. Again, coping so hard. I am coping, coping and seething. I just can't accept what I'm reading. Watched the soccer match between Argentina and Canada. The whole family was cheering. Whatever you call it. Like, that's not our shit. But if we lose to the fucking Americans in the Winter Olympics, yeah, we we get fucking pissed. Like, hockey fucking rivalries with various countries spanning back decades. Just what time you make? Anything else? Transmission to the sun. Approved only by a minority vote. Which, I mean, technically it was. Like, the amount of absentees in the House election was actually enough to completely swing the vote the other way. An advisory setting the votes at 131. Oh, so it was actually increase of 5 affirmatives. Neither 126 nor 131 represent half House members. Provides the majority of the number of those voting shall decide whether the measure is approved or not. The person stated that abstentions should not be counted as a vote. Should absolute divorce become law, it would... Oh! Oh, good! More shit to fucking cope on. More shit... Okay, so... Should absolute divorce become a law, it would not cover marriages blessed by the Catholic Church. Let it be understood that it will apply to civil marriages and not to sacramental marriages. Fact remains that divorce is not the ultimate solution to problematic unions. Oh. Oh. Okay, so now, admittedly, I'm baptized Anglican, but fuck it, I will 1000% convert to fucking Catholic for the sake of being able to dodge this shit. And hey, 78.8% of the population being Catholic's fucking amazing. So, coping so hard. I'm probably gonna have to pay a lot more attention to like Philippine political news after this. But I don't got much else to go on, guys. I really only had this sort of topic. And now that I've found, like, A, it might not get through the Senate, and B, if you go through Catholic, which means, okay, I'm going to have to make sure that I go for a Catholic girl rather than going for a civil union. Yeah, Catholic marriage is safe from divorce. Apparently, yes, this absolute divorce bill does not apply to marriages done via the Catholic Church, only to civil marriages. Good enough for me. That just means that I go there and I add my stipulation as this shit's got to be Catholic. I'm marrying into a Catholic family. And honestly, considering that I'm very much a fan of the Latin, yeah, no, I'll 1000% convert to fucking Catholic first. That Catholics are the overwhelming majority. I think it was like 78 point some odd percent are Catholic. I don't like the whole foot in the door thing. So it basically adds another landmine to the field. But if there's still a clear pathway to getting away from it, that's good enough. So I'm coping so hard I found hope. Oh, jeez. That's the precedent for some restrictions if it's removed in future bills. Well, I'm going to have to keep an eye on. This isn't something that I'm going to get to decide within the next week or within the next 5-6 months. So shit's not quite off the table yet. Enshrined separation of church and state could be sued on those grounds. Okay, that's actually really good to know. That's the thing. Like if you can keep the state out of your marriage, perfect. So if separation of church and state's enshrined in the Constitution, at the very least, getting past that is going to take a long time. Like long enough to have a family. This is, if nothing else, a fucking wake-up call. This is the idea, like, look, if you're gonna take this shit seriously, gotta pay attention to how things are going. Can't just trust that things are going to be fine. Have to actually really pay attention. I've been way too complacent. So I think that'll be it. I think, honestly, that's about it. I don't have much more than this. I didn't have much else planned, and I do actually have to be up fairly early tomorrow, so thank you all for tuning in. We'll probably have a follow-up as I manage to get more news on this. So yeah, Jackson, well, maybe, but again, I'm coping here, but this isn't something that'll be decided next week or next month, so I'll cope as hard as I can for now. But until next time, thank you all very much for tuning in, and maybe we'll have a bit more of a light-hearted roasting of the rat now that I've got a 2-4 of ale to go with. I've done too many of those things sober. It's time to do them with my booze on. Just tonight's not a good night for it. So until next time, thank you all once again. Stay safe, and peace out, Warband.